Greetings once again, multiversal soul familia. Let me see if I can't turn this around a little bit. As you can see, for this miracle manifestation and mission focused Monday message this week. For this week, this is our official 7-day outlook. Each week, exclusive to Mondays, we are bringing back the Woodland Wardens for our first deck selection. Yes, I remember to feature a prayer invocation in this risings. I'm trying to do away with saying morning so much because I'm actually out of mourning now. And although healing in of itself is never one and done, in terms of grief and mourning, I'm happy to share that that moment has passed. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Happy Monday. Let's get into it. Going into the Woodland Warden, we are going to determine and interpret some signifying energy to be mission focused on. And of course, every mission in and of itself is going to be different for all of us. But never separate. And this is all about something to study more. And it embodies more of the divine masculine aspects of humanity. So it's also a bit of an homage to the divine masculine. So that you know that this channel isn't biased and entirely focused on the feminine Christos consciousness. So yes, mission focused miracle manifestation signifiers coming from the Woodland Wardens. And then when it's placed on my heart to stop interpreting there, we will move on with other decks to bring in more detail, teachable moments, insights, and other assignments, so to speak, like bullet points to incorporate into that time of going deeper, that area of study, to get it in, to do the work. Aiming for that highest version of ourselves. Again, this is a 7-day outlook, but each day we also bring in rising energy forecasts, and then on Thursdays, I just in the past week introduced a new exclusive to Thursdays session called Word on the Streams. And then each Saturday, on top of the rising energy forecast, we have a exclusive 2 Saturdays midday update. So I think that's as far as I'm going to go for right now in terms of regular content for streaming. But I may also be opening my calendar to you in the up and coming for personals. So, coming soon to the streams near you, but on a more personal level. Yes, I will let you know when it's been placed on my heart that it is divinely orchestrated time to do so. Alright, one more shuffle. We are already 6 minutes in. This may be a good time to grab your refreshments because this is going to be a bit of a long one. Alright, here we go. Signifying energy for this week for the collective. Miracle manifestation and mission focused Monday. Oh, here we go. Let's complete this pass though. Alright, so one card is coming out. It's the Bat and the Hellboar Intuitions. This is telling me right off the bat, pun intended, that the collective has been keeping their clairs up. Yes! Kudos to that. On that note, I do have a little bit of deep amber resin for this week's message that we're going to throw on the charcoal with the palo that we already have stoking. Yes. Alright, it's going to get a little hazy. I'm a bit more mindful this time to not be saying a long invocation while it's burning. We're going to give it a moment. To have its moment. Delicious, deep amber resin. Yes. The collective has been working on their clairs. Keep it up. Indeed. I can also tell by the hue of the flowers featured. Not only is there the bits of like a royal purple that gives that loyalty is royalty kind of vibe. Being more devout to your intuitions, trusting them more, having more faith in those nudges and gut feelings. But I'm also seeing lighter, much lighter hues. The highlight of the flower is more of like a muted, like ballerina pink, which reminds me of that behind the scenes divine feminine energy that still exists within each and every one of us, even when we're being called to connect more deeply and intimately with that divine masculine as well, which is what, again, these messages are more devout to in general, the divine masculine. Some of you, it has just been placed on my heart that you may not fully understand what this means. So we are going to have a little um, divine masculine meaning session here. Yes, if I could just spit it out. So, referring to a spiritual concept that embodies qualities traditionally associated with masculinity, such as action, strength, and accountability. Often seen as the counterpart to the divine feminine, representing the active doing aspect of energy within individuals and the universe. Importantly, the divine masculine transcends gender boundaries, meaning that everyone can embody these energies regardless of their gender. This concept is recognized across various cultures and spiritual traditions, symbolizing a universal aspect of human experience. So, okay, that is a brief summary, but also on point summary from astrology.com. So shout out to astrology.com for that short and sweet reference. Gratitude is the attitude. Let's get a little bit more about these intuitions from the guidebook. Oh, and my earbud is already chirping at me. Let's do a little switcheroo. Yes. All right. Hopefully the sound is still good. Intuition number 19. Oops. Okay. So, in the upright, our instincts can be relied upon. They show us how to access our mystical side. Hellebore is an unusual flower, blooming in the winter with downturned sepals. It resembles a cup being poured out, a symbol of emotional candor. Together, the bat and hellebore tell us to trust our intuitions. Confirmation of what I just said. Ooh, 1331 on the timer as I said that. Let's see what 1331 is all about. As an angel number pertaining to manifestation. So that was 1331. For manifestation. Let's see, shall we? Strength, assertiveness, and creativity. See, there it is. That creativity is born from an idea, which is the divine feminine, but then that assertiveness in the creativity, the action behind it, is the divine masculine. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm seeing another somewhat of a symbology here with the 10 and then the 10 and then the 1 in the middle. It's like equal counterparts holding up the pillar in the mind's eye, in the third eye, in the pineal, the precipice of our intuitions. the pillar. Beautiful. Beautiful. I heard just like the bell, the bat and the hellbore uphold each other symbiotically. There's more. I gave up my place in the book to share that intuitive flow for a moment there. Let's get back to the book. Curl upward like the hellbore, and as the blind bat trusts its hearing, trusting your intuition to guide you. Ooh, also representing dreams, visions, and the subconscious. They show us how to access our mystical side. The hellebore is an unusual flower, blooming in the winter with downturned sepals. It resembles a cup being poured out, a symbol of emotional candor. Together, the bat and hellebore tell us to trust our intuitions. Beautiful. And the inquiries. How can I learn to trust my gut? And do I need to analyze a problem? Or is the answer more immediate and instinctual? There it is. Let's go a little bit further to build upon this significator, signifying energy pertaining to, although I did mention in the beginning, the collective has been working on their clairs. The clairs are up. Continue, yes. Practice, practice, practice. Interestingly enough, I said, whoa, that I noticed the royal purple, the deeper hue of the hellebore, and how loyalty is royalty. Lo and behold, at the bottom of the deck we have loyalty. I'll move it a little closer and then I'll back it up so that you can see the word loyalty all the way down at the bottom, reminding us to always read the fine print. Interestingly enough, that was just placed on my heart. The hound and the pair. The hound and the pair. And there's even more synchronicity here with the spider and the passion flower, confirming the creativity. I'll move it close so that you can see all the way at the bottom in the fine print. Creative ingenuity. So that is our mission focus for the next 7 days. Preparation for something new to pop open for us, to pop up, to pop open. Speaking of pop-ups, squirrels are notorious for that, and I actually can synchronize with that on a personal level, because this morning, as I was standing at my door, a gray squirrel just popped up seemingly out of nowhere. I must have been in Lululand for just a split second long enough likely for it to come out of its cozy little home inside of a tree. But there it was. Our beloved squirrel, creature teacher. All sorts of animals like to come to my door, including the occasional spider, the occasional bat in the blue hour. I can't recall the last time I had another dog come to my door. Besides my own, when she decides to wiggle her way under the boundaries, so to speak, and make her way from the back to the front. Yes, all these synchronicities that we can relate to, even in our everyday lives. Not just the next 7 days. All right, let's bring our focus back to the Hound and the Pair. The Hound and the Pair. I'm feeling guided to stop there with the Woodland Wardens. Okay. Feeling guided to also go counterclockwise with this message today. Remember, we're just building the signifiers here. So, loyalty is most certainly royalty. And now I'm hearing, and it only increases pair by pair. Pun intended. On a collective level, 2222, isn't that something? And notice how the sacred geometry of the pair is like a mirroring of itself from the inside. Also like the sacred geometry of a butterfly. The asymmetry in the geometry. I mean, is that, yeah. No, the symmetry. There it is. Asymmetry. Well, I mean, I guess there is more asymmetry than symmetry, because, like, notice that this pair isn't perfectly symmetrical, which, from what I heard, is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yes. All is well in the Bell House and the Bat House. Yes. Okay. Loyalty. Okay. Oh, look. And speaking of symbolism, now we have at the top the 2 tens pushing the other 3 pillars. Ooh, more to come on that next one. Let's just focus on the loyalty here for a moment. $23. How can I improve my friendships so that my companions feel loved and appreciated? And in the upright, friendship is flourishing. Your kindness and loyalty have been noted, and your friend appreciates you. Ooh. Like the faithful hound, the pair is a symbol of care and affection, often given as a gift. It is sweet but easily bruised, requiring tenderness from its handler. Ooh. Incorporating a bit more gentleness into that assertiveness, like gentle assertiveness, gentle assertiveness. It's all on you. It's all on you. It's all I can hear right now. It's all on you. Okay? Loyalty, the Hound and the Pair. Let's see. I'm not going to read this story, but in summary, it's the story of a dog that became martyred by a mistake, a tragic mistake, when it was believed that the dog was disloyal in a disheartening kind of way, when in all actuality, the entire time, the loyalty never ceased. However, we'll just say that the body of the hound did cease in this story, but their essence did not. Ooh, I felt that in my heart center. I felt it like swell. Wow. Interesting. It's like we're being reminded to remain loyal in our endeavors and in our connections, although there comes along that occasional itsy bitsy spider aiming to be a distraction, that that's all it is. Or is it? Perhaps we can find a lesson to be thankful for from that itsy bitsy spider, turning that ingenuitively into a form of creativity, turning it into an outlet in some kind of way. Yes, beautiful. Creating a joyful outlet for an otherwise disheartening situation, person, place, thing. We're not even going to put it on the people like that. As a reminder, we are all souls having a human experience in a human body, and we chose this mission. We chose to make landfall. We chose to crack ourselves open. How do we stay tapped into our clairs and even ingenuity and creativity and remain loyal? Don't stop at the germination, because that is only the beginning of the preparation. finding more creative outlets to kind of unwind, and I'm hearing de-stress. Like, can you imagine the pressure on that hall right there before it went in a fraction of a second and decided to symbiotically either connect with the sun and continue to grow, or otherwise have another symbiotic relationship with a squirrel. It's all divine orchestration and weaving. And this is where we're being called for the next 7 days. Not becoming engulfed in it, but to just take time and make time to go beyond the germination, beyond staying loyal, dedicated and devout to our own intuitions. And when it's time to use our ingenuity and intuitions to go into that creative space and release, we will know that time for that, and we will know a time for this and a time for that. It's bringing the ideas into an active, a proactive state. I don't feel as though I need to reach for the guidebook for any of the other cards, because they all just kind of congealed together and married a little bit as we were sitting, well, as I was sitting here. But there is a we sort of aspect to it, other archetypes and aspects of ourselves that are really just what even is the self, you know, that we identify with. Whoop. Primarily being focused on, as these cards flipped up towards me, remaining loyal to our intuitions. Beautiful. All right, let's bring in a bit more detail with the Kipper. All right. And we'll just see what other details will be relevant. More details in terms of what will come into fruition this week to assist us in continuing to build that faith and trust in our intuitions, and getting our clairs up, and getting our clairs up, and getting our clairs up. Excuse me. This is automatically giving me the impression that we are not to be focused on material relationships and connection, or yeah, material relationships and connections at this time. Throughout this coming week, um, being more mission focused rather than monetary aspects. So, not allowing the mundane and the material to be that itsy bitsy spider. Be above the itsy bitsy spider. Learn from Little Miss Muffet and never allow that itsy bitsy distraction to be above you. More, please, in terms of building our trust in our intuitions. And taking gentle but assertive action. We have poverty, but it's also landed in reverse. So again, it's like looking at how far we've come instead of having that lack mindset. A shift in perspective even in our thoughts and feelings concerning material needs, material comforts. Not focusing as much on the material comforts. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to have to reach for the guidebook for this one. I'm not even going to front. This is the marriage card in reverse. And now I'm hearing love on the rocks. So, this is, it can go one of two ways. Either way is going to resonate or apply, but either not going too quickly into a steady relationship. Actually, that would be courting. So, okay, I wouldn't be jumping the broom too quickly. Thank you, Spirit. What else? Give it to me. I'm just kind of skimming the book. I'm not like trying to read the entire definition. I'm skimming. Something about not consummating a marriage. And also for some of you, instead of going along with that whole opposites attract kind of vibe, you're either already or about to be attracting someone so like-minded that it's not your traditional like divine counterpart type of connection, even if it doesn't necessarily pertain to romance. I share a lot about how it's important to recognize that although our uniqueness and our differences don't make us better or less equal than another, our differences, our uniqueness contributes to the harmonization, because if all of us were exactly alike, everything would be so monotone. And where's the harmony in that? So it's also giving the interpretation of some disharmony and what would otherwise be perceived as a sacred union, divine counterparts. A long-term connection that may even be the itsy bitsy distraction. We have main male at the bottom. Oh, yep, that's in reverse. Something about material needs and aspects affecting a union that's not necessarily romantic in nature. But with the main male in the upright and poverty in reverse, this is I'm hearing a situational leader who discourages that lack mindset is also relevant in, I'm hearing, supporting this mission to continue trusting in your clairs and your intuitions and getting those clairs up. It's like even our clairs can be improved in some kind of way, I just heard. There's more energy to that card with the main male, number 1. Integrating a partner without being selfish. Well, when that poverty mindset is no longer relevant in these connections, then there it is, right there. Also, describing where the collective is at this moment in time, what you desire and what you should be aware of, which would be acknowledging a more uplifting abundance mindset, the energy of abundance, regardless of the itsy bitsy distractions. Being more confident, direct, and open. Beautiful. And if you are a feminine listening, it can also signify an important man in your life. Assisting, being supportive, regardless of the distractions. Let's go just a little bit further, a bit more detail. Toil and labor, also in reverse. This is energy coming in this week, basically saying, take a load off. Oh, yep, confirmation. Right behind that is the occupation card, also in reverse. Confirmation. So, what's been placed on my heart is someone or some kind of situation, connection that involves, instead of the collective having to do all of the troubleshooting on their own, there is this assistance coming in to guide the experience in improving, getting those clairs up even more, expanding, improving, and it's going to be different for everyone. And in this energy, there are no comparisons. No blossom more relevant than the other. Is what was just placed on my heart. All right. Let's go along and move along. Just a bit more. And distant horizons is in reverse. So, this is telling me that instead of this energy being distant, it's going to be sooner rather than later in the next 7 days where this supportive energy comes in for the collective. Yes. Perhaps even confirmation in support, in witness, like bearing witness to your clairs and your intuitions. And it's right in front of your face with distant horizons in reverse. It's not distant. It's right there. It's getting anchored in. The anchor has already been dropped. The best is yet to come, but there is so much already right in front of the collective spaces. Great fortune already in the orbit, in the environment. Wow. Ooh. Let's take a look at distant horizons in reverse. I'm just curious, like I'm being drawn to it. I want to know more. Currently just in vision. concrete effort to make real, so it's more than just a daydream. Wow. Fear has come to pass. This is confirmation of my last video when I said no more fear. I fear no one. The fear has passed. Yes, indeed, Spirit. Thank you. I wasn't the only one who needed to hear that. I wasn't the only one who needed to feel that. Great fortune is already here for us. It's in front of our faces, not on the distant horizons. It's already here, anchored in. It took flight a long time ago. It's ahead of the ships. It's docking. It's anchoring. Two, 6, 3, 6. Interesting. Some kind of contraction had to occur. Some kind of contraction had to occur. Some kind of like drawing in and going into hermit mode. Again, not focusing on those material needs, focusing more on our missions in this life, which again, as a reminder, are different in so many ways for each and every one of us, but nothing is separate. We are one. Wow. I just heard we are the honey pot, pouring out the golden nectar of transformation. Never gilded, always ever flowing. See how it starts here? But then what looks like gilded butterflies turns into this beautiful golden light and essence that envelops everything across the horizons. It's already here. It's already here on the horizon, not the distant horizons. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I can feel it. Like I can feel like the warmth between my solar plexus all the way up to my heart. Oh my gosh, it's so warm and cozy. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this is what's coming in this week for the collective. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, let's go into the Hungarian Gypsy now. The Hungarian Gypsy fortune telling deck. Okay. Inquiries about the present energy. People, places, things, and situations coming in for the collective to assist us on our missions to increase and improve our clairs and continue to grow in trust and faith and loyalty to those intuitions. I just heard you didn't knock. Oops. Oh, see? Spirit wasn't kidding. Misfortune landing in reverse. Wow. Further confirmation on the great fortune. Interesting. So interesting. My goodness. The synchronicities. So, this is the avoidance of mishaps. Following our intuitions in order to continue to avoid mishaps or freak circumstances. With desire in the upright in our environment, it's as though it's our second nature to only desire that, to desire avoiding mishaps and freak circumstances. Rethinking and taking that pause, beloveds. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, my face is getting itchy. Confirmation of also getting a handle on those desires. And it's the material desires. That's what has just been placed on my heart. The material. So there's more to it. As this goes beyond the interpersonal, this is personal. If the questioner is a man, it denotes the woman he is in awe of and whose heart he wants to capture. Interesting, because it's right next to the main male from the Kipper. I just happen to just freestyle follow my own gut and just lay them where they're meant to be placed at this time. So drawing the officer for a woman, or otherwise the feminine, means the same thing. Lover, lover. Hey, lover, lover. I just heard. For some of you, this is a lover who is a bit more on the unofficial side at this time. Because only a portion of his attire is showing the official regalia. Something is about to be initiated. Whether it's romance or vocation or some other form of connection. With the main person divinely orchestrated to be involved. So it's already here. It has arrived, so to speak. An older male figure with the widower, here to assist the collective in their maladies, which I don't really think that needing assistance in increasing our clairs is necessarily a malady. There has to be more to it than that. There has to be more to it. Inner conflict. So that inner conflict I'm hearing is the low-level spirit of self-doubt. A bit of stagnancy. Okay. That self-doubt is creating a little bit more turmoil for the collective in terms of establishing a deeper level of loyalty towards one's own intuitions. This is a synchronization amongst the collective. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, you are overcoming that imposter syndrome. With the message card right behind that, no longer misunderstood. Communications are improving. Even doing a double take, double the action in terms of double checking communication. Especially before the verbal delivery. I just heard. Smaller amount of even monetary means being met. Typically by mail, but in this day and age, it could be by way of an email. But nevertheless, being guided to not be so redundantly focused on material relationships and the mundane aspects of life, being more mission focused on getting our clairs up. We have overcome the sadness. We've turned it on its head. I love it when this card comes out just so that I can say that. We have turned the sadness on its head. We are choosing joy. Choosing joy, beloveds. Let's keep going. I have to stop with this deck soon. Falseness. being assisted by a guide that feels familiar, that feels like home, from that slithering serpent of a low-level spirit called self-doubt and sadness. Coming in as a gift to increase our gifts that each and every one of us have. That you may even be unconscious of from time to time. But just like the seed with the squirrel and the chestnut cracked open, look over here at this box. Just slightly cracked open. But what's inside has already been made known. It's beautiful and fruitious as the purple-hued pearls that also, just like the hellebore, if you look at all of the hues combined, it also features that soft ballerina pink that reminds me of the divine feminine being in like divine orchestration, like a merger, supportive of the divine masculine, supportive of taking those intuitions and ideas and putting them into action, cracking them open, going deeper, becoming more devout in study, integrating. Wow. I'm feeling guided to leave it there. We've already approached an hour and past, so there we go. Off the beaten track, back into that flow of the student-teacher dynamic. That assistance coming in for the collective to guide us even further and be more supportive, uplifting, and even a witness to our clairs being up. And now we're on the up and up and up and up and up from there. Better together. Thank you so very much for tuning in with much gratitude and appreciation. Happy Monday from my heart chakra to yours, brightest of blessing.